YouTube, Twitch. Hey, by the way, this is a VOD if you didn't know. So here's the deal. Firstly, if you hear anything in the background, it's because I have my window wide open because I know it's going to get pretty warm in here when I'm benchmarking. I've been doing some testing. Okay. I really don't. I don't even know where to really where to start. I just needed to stream just to have like some motivation from other people in you know, just in the chat. Oh, the script shit. BSG said the game is in the best state it has been in a long time. They will be optimizing the game soon. No, okay, but here's the deal, seriously. I'm almost certain that I need to do some more memory testing. Because also that doesn't go as far as I want it to. Hold on, the chat is not, hold on, I gotta fix the chat. But I gotta do some testing of memory. And I don't think I'm gonna do it right now. But when I was testing, there was just like, I just saw my RAM usage just like creeping up like crazy. And I don't like when people say memory leak because it's not necessary. Like there's a lot of factors. I'm playing at high textures. I chose that as a benchmark for for a reason. But man, yeah, I'm just gonna test. I gotta check some things for the settings guide. The settings guide comes first. So that's what I'm gonna be going for first and foremost. And then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna do from there. I may have to do the memory testing because that seems to be the primary issue. I think that's causing a lot of the crashing, a lot of the hiccups with the wipe right now. So anyway, I gotta ping the server and all that. I forgot that I need to do that, so let me just do that real quick. It'll just be like a couple-hour live stream, but I just wanted to have people to talk to while I was doing it, and making sure and verifying that things looked the way that they did look previously. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I hope you're ready to come on for the ride, because yeah, I got some benchmarks done, and there's just fucking there's a lot of shit. Does the pickles actually sell for 700,000 rubles? I'm about to fucking sell that shit. You kidding me? Oh my god. Hold up. Hold on. Wait a second. That is a line job. That's true. That's true though. That is true. Just got a 9800X 3D upgraded from 5950X. That you will see a jump in performance. Oh yeah. You're gonna see a jump in performance. No doubt. No doubt, brother. Let's see. I got a ping in the server. At businessman. Live testing. Settings in EFT. Things may be worse than I thought. Boom. Boom. That's good. Okay. Let's get to work. Ping the Discord. That should be good. Twitch streams. Did I start the Twitch stream? Nope. Didn't start the Twitch stream. There we go. Hi, Twitch. Now we're there. Okay. Twitch is there. YouTube's there. We're all good. I'm still working on the overlay here. I made this in literally 5 minutes. Don't look at how shitty the perspective is or anything. I'm trying something new. It's gonna look like shit for a little bit. I wanted to keep working on the video, so I kind of scrapped it and then came back and started streaming. So yeah. Here from Discord. Hey, what's up, man? I have a Ryzen 9 5900X and RTX 4070 Super, but I'm getting like 60 FPS on woods and 50 FPS on streets. Do you have the game isolated to the first 6 cores or the last 6 cores? Because you have the dual CCD CPU, so you should isolate it and make sure it's scheduled correctly. Hey, Uzi, what's up? Gamerland? Tomas, my brother, what's up, bro? That is Clem in time. In time. Streaming. I know you won't believe it. They won't believe it. Let me just shrink this a little bit so it looks a bit less out of place. I'm just gonna put it over here. Okay. See, here's the thing, right? Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. See, I was originally gonna put it and like onto that screen, right? But it just doesn't size for some, like, I don't understand. I do this all the time in my thumbnails, but for some reason with the 3D effect in OBS, I just can't get it to, oh. Sorry about that. I had the alerts muted. Wait, but let me see if it comes through again. Hold on. You see my message in Discord about the LOD thing? Oh god, there was a lot of pings. I might have missed it. I've been missing a lot of messages lately. I apologize. Thanks, Tangerine. I'll stop by. What the fuck was that message? Sorry, I'm late to the meeting. I brought donuts. Oh my god, that's a fucking real one, dude. I could. Oh my god, I could devour a. What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? Well, okay. Alright, maybe I didn't fix the alerts yet. Okay, anyway. Why is a guy moaning in my ears? Sorry, I left that open. Okay. So, let's just switch screens here. Yeah, the optimization video for the settings guide, I should say, for this patch is going to be coming soon. I ran my benchmarks for the maps that I chose to do from last wipe, and I tried to benchmark streets online, but it kind of just it wasn't really the same scenario that I did before. And if you do any benchmarking in Tarkov, going online and trying to do it, you know that it's awful. It's like, I spent probably, because my scav timer is like 20 minutes. Like if I loaded into a raid and just got killed before I even fucking got to where I was benchmarking streets, I had to wait like another 20 minutes and then another 10 minutes for the queue. I know, I want to do more emotes. I'm just so afraid. I'm so afraid that I'm going to choose emotes that are fucking dog shit. Okay? That's why I'm like, ah, shit. Like, I had like some ideas and I like prototyped them and I'm like, oh, this looks like fucking shit. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I need to like work with an artist. I don't know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Oh, I did see that message and it was 16%. So that's roughly in line with what I was seeing. But I actually want to go to an offline customs real quick, first and foremost, because in offline customs I was seeing, not offline customs, in online customs I was actually seeing a big difference, so I want to go in there really quick. It's still the same. You have chipset drivers updated, Tachanka. Is your memory tuned correctly? You have XMP enabled and all that? Or Expo? And also, like, I want to pay somebody to do it, you know? I want to get the emotes right. And I just, like, every time I go to do it, I'm like, like, am I going to do it right? Like, there's a couple memes in the community, but I'm like, I don't know, you know? I don't know. And, like, I look at everybody else's, like, Twitch emotes, and besides, like, Stank Rat, and like I don't, what's my signature shit? Like, Landmark's got like plaid shirts, like Stank Rat is pretty fucking obvious, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. They gave the game cooties. Yeah, you're right. Should I be using only use physical cores on 7800X3D? I can find out right now if you want. Okay. I think, yeah, I remember. I have it written down here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So I have like pre-placed benchmark spots for each one of the maps that I probably should have chose a bit better, but I wanted to try to get most of the map in frame when I chose these spots. So let me go over. Your Unk. Unk would go crazy. You guys want an Unk emote? But like, how are you gonna recognize that it's me? Like, my Unk emote. Like, you know? Like, besides me making it orange. Like, I don't know. I think I'll stay on Twitch and on YouTube. Whatever, yeah, whatever works. I don't... You choose your preference, man. Doesn't... That's why I got both. Twitch is, it's easier to speak... Well, not easier to speak with me, but it's, like, quicker, you know, for responses, because it's not as delayed, so... There it is. I was afraid they removed it for a second. Come on. Okay. So this is what I wanted to check. Let's turn this down. Will I get GPU bottlenecked? Oh. Hey. I have my window open and a squirrel fucking walked, like, was just staring at me through the window. I got, like, a spy. Anyway. So wait, what am I at right now? Okay, I'm at LOD Quality 2 here. At 150 FPS, CPU bound. This is offline, no bots, by the way. My bad, that was me. And then, so let me go... Just tick back to my normal 2.5. Like, you see that? Like, I'm not crazy. Like, you could just do that. Let me just put it up a little bit more. We were at 150 FPS a minute ago, by the way. And see, the thing is too, and I'm just eyeballing this really quick right now. This isn't like super official, but like we dropped 30% performance there. From going from LOD 2 to LOD 4 was 30% of our performance, if I did my math correctly. If not, maybe a little bit more, actually. So the fact that, like, it can swing that much, but not swing that much in other scenarios is telling me that it's map dependent for one. Also, yeah, that crane is fucking going crazy because I'm on DLSS performance right now. But this is telling me that... Okay. There is something as I... Like, because you could see there was it wasn't scaling linearly. Right, so as I was moving this up from different notches, the amount of performance that I lost percentage-wise going from each thing lessened. So what that's telling me is because of how object LOD quality works, the things that it's reducing, how do I say this? The range, like some areas when it increases the level of detail of the objects in that area, because we're upping the object LOD quality, it's reducing performance non-linearly because the impact of upping the LOD of that section of the map is more impactful than the next. Does that make any sense? I'm not saying that perfectly correctly. Also, hi, Wild. But I think that's what's going on. And I didn't see this level of performance impact when I was testing last wipe, I don't think. Not that I remember. There was, you could tell there was an impact, but it was not like this. Granted, I'm testing this on customs. I was able to see something very similar to this on streets. It was more like 20% skilling though from my usual benchmark spot. So what that also tells me, again, that reinforces the idea that this is location dependent. This is like depending on where you are in the map and where you're testing, the amount of percentage FPS that you're going to lose by moving up or down this slider is also going to change, which makes testing this really fun. It makes it great. But at least I can put some more emphasis on that setting for the wipe video, because I was noticing even when I was normally playing at 2.5. Let me actually just go back and I'll reply to some questions in a second. Let me just go to native resolution, and like I was noticing for some reason that I've noticing a lot more pop-in closer to the screen after this patch. Like it feels like I'm seeing a lot more things pop in. Like I saw something in the distance down the road there just pop in. There was a spot on Lighthouse that I was seeing it. Oh, there's a patch of grass. Like you can see as I'm moving, things are popping into the screen really close, or like going to a higher LOD very close to the screen. And I didn't think it was that close last wipe. So I don't know. It feels like they changed something with that. I don't know if they did, of course, because why would I know? But it doesn't. It feels like that range is greater. Like the distance has changed somewhat, and like the parameters they're using for that setting. Maybe it hasn't, but like I'm just seeing so much more pop in than I typically would with this setting. At least I know what to recommend for best FPS now, but. And yeah, again, that's another good thing to say too, Dynamic, is that this is when I'm CPU bound as well. It was when I was doing all that scaling. So I know, like, it's not only something that's affecting when I'm GPU bound, it's basically universal. Oh yeah, Gamerland, well that's part of, yeah, that would be an issue. I've been experiencing a lot of hitches with the same settings I had last update. The hitches... So I was doing a lot of testing. Firstly... Will this be louder with this? Oh! Okay. But I was literally trying anything to recreate that stutter that everybody was talking about, like, when they're shooting. So I was, like, spinning around while shooting, like, upping my LOD quality to 4... just to try to, like, load in as much shit as possible and spinning. I was like, maybe it's a VRAM thing. Or, like, a memory thing. But I haven't been able to really get any stutters, while shooting. Some of the hitching in the game is from scav spawning in. You can see that, like, the beginning of the game when all the AI load in and the frame time graph just goes, like, and that's how you know. Yeah, I know. It's very loud. Yeah, LOD is kind of nuts right now, this patch, TLDR. So that's the first thing. So yeah, I could, and here's the thing, I'll explain this to you again, just like, as like a quick update, basically. I would, like, I should say, to explain my reasoning here, I would benchmark this, right? I would benchmark the amount of FPS that you lose with object LOD quality. The issue with doing that, like I was saying before, is that it changes all the time. So depending on where I choose to benchmark it, will give me a different number about how much FPS percentage wise that you're going to lose. So I can't just say, like, I could give you a ballpark with what I know right now, but I can't just say, like, oh, here's the range of performance that you're going to lose, because it varies drastically. And not to mention, this is me testing in an offline environment, so it's not even including players or AI. This is customs, by the way. But so I can't really, like, give a concrete number. So that's an issue. FPS look pretty bad in the new factory building on Landmark Stream. Can I go? Yeah, let me go there. Can you guys lead me there? Let me go there real quick. Did you hear that power monitoring enabled in Afterburner causes micro stutter? I did hear about that. Maybe I should make a pinned comment about that with the video, for my MSI Afterburner video. I think it's a CPU timing issue. Something is eating CPU time unnecessarily. Probably new AI logic. I would agree. There's like, well, let me actually. Nah, I don't want to benchmark it here. Actually, maybe I'll go to Streets and check it. Next to Sniper Tower. Okay, so right there. Okay. Did I miss anything important? Basically, from what I was testing right now, object LOD quality is making a lot more difference in performance than I originally thought, or that it was the last wipe from what I tested before. So, that'll change. I have some other things that I'm going to talk about, but I'll get to those in a minute. Where is this supposed to go? Hey, Ghost Proxy, what's up, brother? At Unc Clem. It's pretty mid. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Also, I'm fucking freezing to death. Maybe I should scav into customs and try to go here, but I did see, like, on Jesse's stream when he was, I think he was here, he was getting, like, 70 to 80 FPS on his, I think he has a 14900K, which is a bit suboptimal, I would argue. Not really ideal. And look, I want to be clear that, like, it's kind of obvious that performance was going to degrade with the customs expansion, and I mean the map is literally getting bigger. There's more shit. I'm not surprised that it went down. I mean it went down quite substantially, but I knew it was going to decrease. Like that's why I didn't benchmark it, which I realized probably that I should have benchmarked it, but I didn't know how drastic the map was going to change. I didn't know if I could recreate the same like area. So how long has there been a freezing effect? This is new to this wipe. Somebody also... Is that supposed to... I don't think it's supposed to do that. Remember when we got snowed the first time, I could actually run the game on my old PC. Sorry. They had to put that thing down. Okay. The frostbite effect only happens when it's snowing. And conveniently, it snows all the time when I'm benchmarking. Yay! So it affects the values and I gotta rerun shit. It's fucking awesome. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure that that's correct, because if it's not correct, because the weather changed and the fog came in, then I gotta do it all over again. Hold on. So 180 FPS. I just want to see if this changes the behavior at all. Yeah, it still does it correctly. Also, sorry, that's a plane outside. My bad. The same shit. In the Discord, a legend. Thank you. Do it. You can do it. Can you do it in the Twitch too? Appreciate that. Make sure you join the Discord, by the way, if you want to get alerted on when I post the new video. It's in the description, and it will be pinned in the chat in a second. Oh wait, nope, that's the wrong fucking button. Okay. You should be able to pin on Twitch, Ja. Yeah. I got it on YouTube. Go to custom match. In custom match, I have to bring... See, here's another thing that I'll bring up. Sure. Let's talk about this real quick. When I'm benchmarking, if I wanted to, I'd have to get another person into the raid. The only way they allow you to change the weather and the time is if I bring other people into my tests and make it a co-op offline raid, which runs on BSG servers. So it doesn't give me the same environment as the data I have right here. Which means if I wanted to do this in the future, I would have to bring other people all the time and then run raids through BSG servers and benchmark it like that to control the time and the weather. Which would be okay, I would just have to constantly find other people to help me whenever I wanted to benchmark, or else I wouldn't be able to compare data, which would kind of be a bitch. Or I could buy another account, which I probably could do as a tax write-off. But you know, yeah. Because I have 2 PCs, I could do 2 accounts and then just do it that way. But I might do that in the future, but obviously I'm not doing that right now. That would get the best quote-unquote data, but even then, it's not realistic. The data, the reason why I'm collecting what I'm collecting, and the reason why I'm doing this and getting like the offline benchmarks solo, no AI, isn't because it's reflective of real in-game performance. I do the tests in offline solo to see if they've affected FPS through other means besides the AI and, well, yeah, basically that's it, other players, the AI and other players. Because if I exclude that variable and just have the map, whoops, and the weather basically, but that doesn't really count. If I just have that, then I can see, okay, was there any optimizations done specifically to like culling inside the map? Like at the same place, is it roughly the same performance? Everything else being controlled, or did performance improve? Because that means they improved things on the map side, not excluding the AI, which is very taxing. The thing was, for example, and I don't know, I might run these again just to make sure, but like for example with my, oh, let me find them. Was this it? Yeah. With this and this, which I didn't aggregate yet, there was a slight performance increase on average on my offline streets test, which could be a fluke, but it's a substantial, what is that right there? 6%? That's above margin of error slightly. So they might have done a little bit of something there. But on the flip side, when I'm playing on streets, performance is like, well, I won't even say anything. I'll just let the numbers speak for themselves, to be honest with you. Is this it? No, this is it. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm at right now. Now, granted, there was a lot of dead bodies at Lexos in this test, and there was a lot of other things. So this could be a fluke. And I, again, because of how online is, I would have to get a lot of aggregate data, and then see if this actually matches up with this. And I made sure these were CPU bound in both of these. So, yeah, it shows me that something else outside of just the map, at least, who knows what it is, hint hint, it's probably the AI, is absolutely destroying performance. Most likely. Because on all the other tests that I did, on all the other maps, like I tested Streets, Lighthouse, Interchange, and Shoreline. And those Shoreline and Interchange had a reduction in performance that was like, I think it was like, motherfucker, it was like 10 to 15%. Which I assumed I credit to the, like, all the new lighting and the buildings and, you know, the Christmas shit. It's not like insane. Like, it wasn't like a 30% dip from what I had before. So, yeah, there's that sort of dilemma. Is I don't think necessarily anything's gotten substantially worse. At least with the maps at all. Like, it hasn't gotten crazily worse. It depends on the map, and depends on where you are in the map. But, as far as, like, actually playing on servers, it seems like that's gotten worse. So there's that. What else was I going to cover? Let me catch up. I get 50 FPS on customs with an i9. Well, doesn't matter. i9 doesn't matter. The generation of your CPU is what matters. I mean, I should say i9 does matter, but it matters less than what generation the CPU is. Do you know what generation it is? 4090 and i9 4900K getting roughly 89 on all maps is crazy. That is kind of nuts. Getting 70 FPS drops on customs with 7800 XD and a 4070 Super. Here, let me scav into a customs real quick. And then I'll showcase that live. But everything else I've seen so far, I'm gonna go probably to streets after I scav and do the scav raid, just to make sure all the other settings are looking like how they usually were, like anisotropic filtering, make sure that's working properly, see if Reflex is doing any funky shit. Everything looked okay when I was moving everything else, but I'll make sure. And I wanted to stream this too because I figured if I would hear anything else while I'm live, then I could anticipate, or not anticipate, I could look into it live. So yeah, if you have anything you want me to look into, let me know, because I can do that here while I'm here. Oh, and that, hey, all right, well, that's great. That puts me on to the next topic. The memory usage. I'm sitting at 23 gigabytes in the main menu. Like, it's gone up. Like, when I was testing, I could see the RAM usage increase as I was hopping maps, which is what I saw about like a year and a half ago. So it's there might be some allocation that's not properly being cleaned up. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that problem's back, which means at some point I'll have to do that test again. So I'll try to do that, where I do the... Actually, I should give context. What I did for those tests is I went to streets. I had a spot I went to on streets where I sat for 20 minutes. I DC'd, loaded all the traders, then went back into interchange, went to the spot that I went to test there, sat there 20 minutes, left the raid, then looked at all the traders again, and then went to factory, sat in factory for 20 minutes, and then loaded all the traders again, just to see if RAM usage just kept going up and up and up and up. And it was. And it also heavily depended on what settings you're running. Also, Down Bad Brother, thank you so much for the Prime on Twitch. I appreciate that, dude. They did upgrade the Unity. It's Unity 2022 now, which means they have the tools to improve some of that stuff, or some of this stuff, over time. I don't know when it's coming, but at least know that they are... that they have the guns now. So, high-end system equals low performance bug.
Connor.
Great patch 1.0 ready. 100%. Hangy Schmangy, thank you so much for this for the follow. I appreciate that, bro. Let me just fix my OBS here. There we go. Okay. Oh. Hey, thank you for the sub with Prime on Twitch. I appreciate that, dude. Wow, I have jack shit. Wait, what's loaded in here? Oh, that's actually a little kick-ass. So yeah, you can see I'm maxing out my VRAM and my RAM usage, or getting close to my RAM usage, which is not ideal. But I'm doing it on purpose, and leaving my game open to try and see if I can recreate what's Oh, that was the bag. I thought I heard a footstep. Stopping the stream. What's the silent FPS killer? Right now I've got some issues with object LOD quality. Which let's just see here if we can recreate what's going on. No, thank you for reminding me. 1 second. So that's good. There was barely any scaling there. That stayed roughly the same. And you can't really benchmark like this necessarily because you could be missing on random dips and drops. You can see like it's pretty inconsistent. And it's going to go back up to roughly where, yeah. Now let me see. Yeah, you get to a point where the FPS just starts completely shitting the fucking bed. And now it goes back up a little bit. See how variable this is? This is why it's so hard to test online. Like, I'd have to spend, like, a raid. This is part of the fucking struggle, dude. Okay. So, you know, there's a lot less scaling there. Yo! Holy shit. Down bad. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Valorant with the tier 1. Wait. Chat, is that... Why'd they have a verified badge? Is that actually what the fuck? Wait, I'm actually so confused. What the... What just happened? Wait. What just happened? Okay. Did you install chipset drivers? Down bad, brother? Does Valorant gift subs? Is that like an automatic thing? What the fuck? It's a Twitch promotional thing. Okay. Got it. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, who the hell are you? What are you? Okay, 100. Man, oh, we're starting to get FPS spike. Oh! Garbage collection totally just happened there when I hit escape. And I don't have automatic frame cleaner on. See, the allocation just started dumping right there. Yeah, something just happened there. It just saw that it maxed out, and then it like took a second and probably stuttered to clean that up. Yeah, I'm 100% that that's what that just did. You did BIOS and GPU drivers? You did the chipset drivers. Not BIOS, but like installed chipset drivers from the AMD website when you built the PC. God, it's so variable. Like, it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
I'm a goner. I'm done.
Also, Jaw said, any plans of doing a New Year's giveaway like last year? I don't know, maybe. I probably could. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of a little strapped for cash, to be honest with you, but I probably could. Alright. Let me do this quick. And the fucking gunshots. Oh. Okay, well, that's not too bad. That kind of shows what it... But it's so... Again, it's just so fucking hard to... Let me go to that factory. Let's go to that factory. Well, I still got some stuff in my stomach here. Before I starve to death.
I'm a goner.
AMD Ryzen 5 3500. Is that even 3550? Is that even a part? Okay, Ryzen 5 3rd gen 1650 16 gigabytes. Should it run Tarkov? Barely. Barely. I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of stuff. You didn't do chipset? That's the reason. If you look up AMD chipset drivers website and download it, as long as you have the as long as you know what motherboard you have, you'll be able to find the right chipset drivers, install that. That should fix most of your problem. Oh, right. Oh, great. Oh, hey, bro. This totally isn't ominous. I won't get shot here or anything like that. Hey, hold on. This gun's got a stock. Whoa. Alright, now, go for it. Let me know how it goes, dude. There we go. I have a 4080 700X30, my GPU usage is 50%. Your CPU bottlenecked. You guys see right there? So look on the top left. I would zoom in, but if you're on mobile, you can zoom in yourself. You see all the... Ooh. What are you pointing at? But if you see that on the top, you see how this one thread right here is getting close to 100% usage? It's sometimes hitting that. That's CPU bottleneck right there. You may not see that thread hitting 100% usage all the time. But even still, it is a CPU. Oh my god, he's got peas on him. Oh my god. There's no ambient sound. Did you... Wait. Stop the music.
EFT is not a fun game.
Oh my god, there's no ambient. Oh fuck. Yeah, there's no... Oh my god, my audio is gonna be really loud. But yeah, I wanted to just put on the stream so you guys knew, like, this would be a little bit of backstory as to how the video is gonna go, and what my rough recommendation... Oh my god, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. See my frame time graph? How it's like spiking like that? This is the frame time graph, by the way. It is dead quiet. What is that? I thought I heard ambient sound before. Like, what the... Oh, man. Is this from VRAM? I think this might be from VRAM. I was from Brazil. What's up, bro? Thanks for watching, man. Thank you all for being here.
Подмагните!
That's a good combo, Kuna. Yeah, that's pretty good. Whoa, what the fuck? He's shooting at me through the... He's shooting at me through the blue thing. He's shooting at me through the blue thing. What the fuck?
Подмагните! Ну-ка за мной все!
Okay. That's not Santa, alright. Hey, Sigma. How's the wipe going? It's going good, Waffle. What's up, man? Oh my god. Since I've had the game open for so long, I think... Okay, he's chill. Guys, sub up and join the channel for Clem's oiled up Unk giveaway. Why are you posting that in the... What? Alright. I gotta wrangle up the mod team. Let me try... I think it's the VRAM that's an issue here, but... Sorry if I'm missing messages, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Yeah. I mean, frames dip depending on where you're looking, yeah. That processor's pretty weak, Olfen. Just because I bet if it's a 3900F, it's probably a pre-built, it's probably power limited, and the RAM is probably slower, which is really what you need for Tarkov and not a powerful GPU. But do join the Discord. Not for an oiled up giveaway, but do join the Discord. Yeah, there's no music or any. What happened with the audio? Really? Aw, Clem, you promised. Alright. How much VRAM do you have? Who cares? Clem, first off, isn't an unk. Thank you! Thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Wow. See, That's probably a scav. Somebody knows.
А, подмагните!
Pragmaniche. Or however you fucking say it. What are my extracts? Also, this is the thing that lower LOD quality does. You see how that is like partially transparent? Some of the things are up there are kind of transparent. When you walk up, you're gonna see that loads in. And it's not transparent anymore all of a sudden. And you're like, huh, that's weird. Why is it doing that? My native resolution, that's kind of funky. That's why running, and see, that pops into at 2.5. Even at 2.5, you just have like a bunch of popping issues. Oh my god. Oh my god. The lows are getting fucked because of the VRAM right now, I think. Okay, so chat's lying. Clem is Unk Supreme. He just sounds old. See, that's true. Why is everyone suggesting to put clouds quality on high? Because it didn't have an impact on anything that I could tell last wipe. This wipe I haven't tested again yet. I figured I'd probably do that again. Maybe after I get out of this scav raid. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, this is unplayable. I mean, look at my frame time graph. I'm playing like the dinosaur game where you don't have any internet on my fucking frame time graph right now. Nothing wrong with being old. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being old. I'm not old. I'm 21. I'm not like old. That's not unk. Like, even on the internet terms, that's not unk. 21 is not unk. That's not even I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying. Nobody's gonna believe me. No one's... $41. I'm not 41.
I'm a goner. I'm done.
Oh, my OSD is Capframe X. Clem is ancient. You're literally older than me, Josh. Shut up. You're literally older than me. I think... Do I have this extract over here? What's important is that you feel young. See, that's what matters. That's true. Yeah, customs is really inconsistent, Wild. I've been seeing that too. I was trying to test object LOD quality, and I couldn't. Like, it was just, like, no... Based on where I went, it was just all over the place. Unk's knees pop when he stands up. It's not my knees, it's my ankles. Okay? That's different. It's a genetic thing, okay? Get it right. I mean, I expected customs to lose performance, 100%, but not like super duper bad. Uh-oh. Guys, you gotta guide me to an extract. Where do I go? Factory far corner. Oh, I know where scav checkpoint is, I think. It's over there, I think. I got a Ryzen 9 7900X 3D with a GeForce RTX 370 Ti. Hey, it's very close to what I was just running. 30 gigs of RAM, 4800 mega. Whoa, why is it so low? What the fuck? Customs barely get 70 FPS with Cinema set it. Yeah, I mean, the 7900X 3D, firstly, you should make sure the game's running on only the 6 cores that have the 3D V cache. And secondarily, that RAM speed is really slow, and I'm sure the timings probably aren't that quick either. Just see if you can turn on, like, Expo or something, get those tuned up. Old Road Gate is next to car extracted dorms. Oh. Shit. Is Factory Far Corner over there? I thought it was over there. Should I use Process Lasso on a 13900F? You probably won't need to. Oh my god, this is fucking diabolical right here, Chad. I haven't seen a frame time graph this bad in a while. I mean, on my system. But high textures is really fucking me over. I have 16 gigs of VRAM. Oh, wait. No, it's this way. X 3D and 4070 Ti on customs works fine in PvP, but the frame times are bad anyway. Yeah, I might need to dial down to medium texture quality just to test this in like a future run, but I'm almost certain that's what's happening here. No, the VRAM budget, it's not exceeding the VRAM budget. Oh. Go down the wall and run. Oh, that's right. It's just over here. Frame times are good, but my frames are just slower. Yeah, frame times didn't seem to be any like there wasn't any issue. Oh, hold on. Nah, shit. Nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could lower texture quality. I didn't think that was going to be an issue, honestly, on 16 gigs of VRAM. I did not think that was going to be an issue on customs of all places. You got peas, though. And nowhere to put them because my inventory is full. I haven't sold shit. Screw nuts are going to be massive. Everything else here I can just sell.
Ну, начало дня уже неплохое.
No, Dolan, you don't need to. Because, I mean, you can test it and see, but honestly, instead of using only physical cores, I think Process Lasso is better just for the fact if you have something in the background, you can then like isolate what cores are for those other apps versus for Tarkov. Like if you have like background apps like SteelSeries, GG or shit, you can sort it out and move it to a different core so it doesn't affect Tarkov performance nearly as much. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. Let's go quickly to streets because I want to make sure other settings are running correctly. Oh wait, I should probably restart my game. I've had it running for a while. Hold on. And I only cleared automatic, or I only used automatic RAM cleaner once. I just want to see what the difference might be. Maybe when they when they re-wiped, we now run 2 instances. Yeah. And I was benchmarking before, that's why I don't have like my background up or anything. I had Wallpaper Engine, but I closed it when I was benchmarking. All that's gone. I didn't have voice meter open either, to be clear, by the way. But I have it open now, obviously, because I'm streaming, so. No problem, Dolan. The sweet spot normally, though, Magic Cake for AMD or AM5 is DDR5 6000. Is auto RAM cleaner helping, or is it best practice to still reset every few rays? I don't really have a definitive answer right now. Auto RAM cleaner should do the trick, but I mean, you still have instances like this where, like, my RAM usage has gone down by 13 gigabytes or RAM allocation. And I mean, obviously allocating more if you're gonna, like, if it's for maps that you're playing is one thing, but like, I don't know if that's going to keep creeping up. Like, I need to run tests where I just run that over and over and over and over and over and over and just see if it keeps creeping up. And that's going to take time. So that's like a whole nother series that I'm going to have to do. So, yeah. Stay tuned. Squeaky, do you hear my chair squeaking? Oh yeah, you hear this. Oops. Oopsie-daisy. It's part of the experience. Okay. So I'm going to go in here and just test some other settings. So, what can I do if I have a Ryzen 5 5700X 3D and a 7700 XT before the server shut down? First round in wipe, I got 144, and now after the shutdown, I got 90. Yeah, the FPS just decreased. I mean, I don't know what map you're playing, but if you're playing like customs, yeah, just FPS just got worse on customs because of the expansion. I don't know what they're going to do to fix that. They probably have some things in mind already, so we'll see what they do. I don't know if this is like some sort of like crazy ploy to make the optimizations look awesome, then the community to stop, you know, get the community to stop complaining. I don't know. Everything else seemed relatively the same to last wipe, so turbo mode shouldn't affect RAM or VRAM usage. Dark Castile. Uncle needs some WD-40. I mean, I've had this chair for a little bit. I mean, everyone cried about Unity update, and now they got it. Yeah, even though they said, hey, this is not going to improve performance, the stuff inside of it is going to allow us to improve it over time. That was too many syllables for the internet to really comprehend, and so they just heard Unity update, new engine better performance. They can only think in like 2 words at a time. So, and then this happened. Now people are gonna be mad. So. What's up with crashing on the creating loopholes 100%? Any way to prevent it? I think it's a issue with memory, where it's filling up on RAM and it's going to the paging file and it's using the paging file to load in the resources that it needs to, but for whatever reason the paging file just isn't giving the amount of space that these people need, or it's requesting too much at once and it can't cache the checks that Tarkov wants it to, and then it crashes. I think that's what's going on, because people have been saying that they've been upping their paging files like crazy, and then that fixed it, supposedly. Since I don't have the issue, I can't see for certain if that's the problem. But that seems to be what's going on. I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it. In the past, BSG has made statements about the paging file and had specific guidelines. I even made a video about it because there was an issue like this before. But people are setting it to values higher than what I set it to previously. So I don't know, maybe BSG will make a statement about what's going on with that in particular. Maybe give some more guidance, and then I'll make a video about it or something. Could be crashing from MIP streaming? Nah, no, I know for certain at least some of the people that were having the issue were not running MIP streaming. Or they weren't running MIP streaming. Sub with Prime so Clem can afford WD-40. Listen. Does everything need to be perfect? Okay. I need a new desk before I get WD-40. WD-40 is expensive, okay? It's like $10. I can't afford that. All right. So I just want to check some of the obvious stuff real quick. Anisotropic filtering. Oh yeah, that's working as intended. So you can see anisotropic filtering if you haven't seen my previous videos. It clears up textures when they're at an angle that's not directly towards the camera. Takes samples from the texture to get it to display better. So you can see on per texture here. Is that... Okay, so apparently it only works when it's forced on. That should have cleared up it at least a little bit, but at least with that, it seems like on was the only way to go there. You don't have filthy streamer money. Yeah, there's no... And we're not making bans from the channel here. There is no ban requirement here. Slight reduction in VRAM usage, but not by much. 100. This is how it should behave. Yeah, so on is 100% meta. Hold on, chat. Let me drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Then I want to check. I need to get some screenshots for shadow quality, which, by the way, is a bitch, but we'll get there. I have the old screenshots from the old video, but I'll make sure they look right. Just gonna stretch. Okay. Oh, all right. Did I miss some messages above? My homies don't understand why their game is so bad, and I just keep forwarding them your vids, but they're too lazy to learn the settings, like what you... Yeah, that is partially the issue. Like, I've had people comment like, dude, why are you saying all this, like, bullshit? Like, stop fucking yapping and just tell me what to set. It's like, it's not... If you don't want to listen, set everything to the lowest and then leave, because that'll work. Like, I mean, it will work. You probably won't like it, but it'll work. My friend is on a laptop. Well, if you gotta do what you gotta do. What's the best way to get it more stable? He's loading to RAID super delayed and phasing in next to me. He can't use scopes on streets. Is he lacking RAM? He said he put all settings on low, but I haven't seen them myself. I'd have to get his specs, like his laptop specs, to actually figure out what he can do, because I'm not sure. What else was I going to look at? Let me make sure cloud quality is functioning the same. Let me just get baseline. Oh, see... Wait, let me see if they changed the bind. Wait, hold on. What? Oh. Like, I can't do the normal screenshot. I just had to rebind it, I guess. Okay. That's low. The clouds are changing quickly, though, which is making this a bitch. So if you guys don't know what the cloud quality does, it just changes the detail and like how these curve and the transition in between light and dark colors here on the clouds. It's kind of hard to see right now. In dusk and dawn, I chose like the worst time possible. But you can see that it's kind of a bit more like mushy and directly switches from light to dark in some of these areas here. Whereas when I set... Oh, this is actually good here. Oh wait, this might be perfect right here. Again, this is really fucking difficult to show here. Let me see if I can see it in the screenshots. iCat. Wait, let me not dox myself. Let me make sure that I... Oh, well, you can still see my screen, but that's okay. Because I'm not... Yes, here it is. No, that's not it. That is my Call of Duty screenshots for the video that I never made. Oopsie! Okay, no, I don't have any, like... Make sure I didn't have any, like, school documents or shit saved here. We're good, we're good. Okay. Gentlemen, we know he has 2 drives doxed. We fucking got him. See, this is going to be a really good test right here. Because I forgot what setting I had for each of these screenshots. No, this is low. This is the first one, the second one, the third one. I know that much. You gotta get it real up close in the clouds. You gotta figure it out here. Suffice to say, chat, that this setting doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter at all. Shh, don't tell anybody. I don't know if it actually affects the fog. That's what I'd like to find out at some point, but I think that is high, medium, and low. This is more pixelated here. By the way, Woods is running worse too around the sawmill. Really? Yeah, last screenshots I took actually were at night because the color of how the colors work on the clouds at night, it was kind of easier to see. In the video that I made about it, it was also easier to tell. Wait, what do I have it set to right now? I have it set to low. Okay, the BTR drove away.
I'm a goner. I'm
Labby
done.
Poo, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it. Also, God Mayru. Thank you for the follow as well. I didn't see that. Foul, thank you for the sub. Sowie, thank you for the follow as well. I have the same exact setup as you down to the motherboard. Wait, seriously? Did you like copy my build or something? What video can I watch to have the same performance as you right now? Well, this is offline. This is offline streets, so, I mean, all I've done is, I just have a slightly debloated OS, just made sure there's no other crap in the background, no overlays. I obviously installed my chipset drivers and everything like that. I have tuned memory, because I have Hynix MDI, that's from Buildzoid, the timings, so, they're just generic, timings, but it's a bit tighter, so that could help as well. Hey babe, it's time for our bi-yearly mandatory Tarkov FPS fixing because BSG screwed something up with a new wipe again. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help, but I might be able to just put a band-aid over it in the meantime. Angel, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, appreciate that. Is an overlay bad like Discord? I mean, it uses up extra resources. So if you don't really use those overlays, I'd highly recommend not. Yeah, that flickering is from how shitty our anti-aliasing is in the game. You can see, like, this is why I want DLAA, for example, so bad. Because if you use DLSS on quality, that goes away. I mean, you have a little bit of flickering here, but this is from the fact that there's a lower resolution now, and not because of the actual flickering. Like, it makes it so much more stable. And I wish we had it. BSG, please fix. Thank you. Fixes deleting system 32. Oh. Oh. What the hell? Yo, oh my god, it's got a red paint job. Oh shit. Damn, it's got sponsored. Tarkola. Holy shit. Okay. I want to ask if you've heard about lossless scaling. Thanks to this application, I have a constant 144 FPS in EFT. Oh, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Okay. Okay. So, basically, right, lossless scaling. Long story short, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an external way for you to get frame generation and upscaling inside of games without having to import any DLL files or anything like that. It just takes the window. So you can get frame generation. Frame generation is not real frames. I just want to point that out. So when you see a higher frame number, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily more actual FPS. It's just filling in the blanks between some of your frames, if that makes sense. With that in mind, it makes it feel a bit more sluggish, especially the lower FPS you're at to start with when you're frame generating, because those generated frames are displayed on your screen for a longer amount of time. Me personally, I don't like it. Especially for a shooter, I don't like it. If I'm not at least at 60 FPS, it's awful, like unplayable levels of input lag for me. At least with lossless scaling frame generation. It's not like I don't like it for some single player titles. I use it in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I use DLSS frame generation in there, but you know, like same sort of dealio, right? Still at the end of the day, frame generation. So yeah, if you are at all sensitive to input lag, you can't, like, it's just gonna feel like ass to you. Especially depending on what frame rate you're running at base. Why is custom so goddamn stuttery? I was getting that as well. I think it was from me having high texture quality on. I think I'd have to run medium texture quality to get it to not stutter as much. Well, anti-aliasing was still doing the same thing. HBAO looks like it's working here. Yep. Let me just set it on to the highest. Yeah, that's working. Someone claimed he had 5 to 6 milliseconds more with frame generation. Many comedians out here. Like more latency? Only? I don't have any input like you do. You just do. Just by the nature of frame generation, where you have fake frames inserted in between seeing real frames, it has to delay showing the next frame to show you the frame that is in between it. It needs the data from the next frame to generate how the frame is supposed to look in between those two frames. So because of that, it delays the next frame. So inherently, it gives you some sort of input lag. That's just how that works. Now, if it's perceivable to you, depends on how sensitive you are to it and what your base frame rate is. But again, it will always be there to a certain extent. What does HBAO even do? It controls shadowing around certain objects. So like, you can see it most easily in my hands. That's why I was looking at it just as a showcase. But you let me walk up to this light real quick, and I can sort of showcase it here. So if I have HBAO off, you can see that there's no sort of shadowing in between where my gun meets my hand on like the foregrip right there. See, there's no sort of shadowing on anything. on my hand. But if I add a little bit of HBAO or horizon-based ambient occlusion, it adds a little bit of soft shadowing around some of those objects to make it fit a bit well together, or fit better together. So you can see now, I just poked my monitor. In between my hand and my gun, there's a little bit of shadowing now. That wasn't present before when I had it off. So that's why I like it, because it just adds a little bit of detail. And that's why I run max performance, is because it's not really that... it doesn't hurt your performance that much when you're GPU bound, but it still gives you a little bit of that shadowing. You'll see it a lot easier if I set it to like the highest setting. It should be pretty obvious now from off that there's some sort of shadowing on the gun. Especially when the hand grabs the mag, you'd see it darkens where it touches the mag there. And here, just in case somebody didn't catch it at home, let me just really quickly showcase that again. I have screenshots already for the video. I probably will just use some of the same ones if they show it off well, but here's off. That's the wrong button. And here is, I'm going to do ultra, not colored ultra. And now let me just go in here. So you can see on this handguard, you can clearly see the shadowing that it's adding right there in comparison to having it off. So it just makes it a bit more realistic. The HBAO does not apply to grass shadows. It's a different setting, though it can change how bright some things are. Like, for example, some corners can get a little bit darker. So you can see, let's see, this might work here. If I set this down, you can see there's no sort of shadowing on the crease of the wall here, where the wall meets the floor. Whereas if I set it to anything, really, you get that little bit of shadowing around the edge of where the floor meets the wall. Just makes it a little bit nicer, you know? What did I miss in chat? Didn't copy your setup. I already had the 4070 Ti Super. Made the switch to AMD last week and just happened to buy the same motherboard. Haven't changed anything running out of the box settings. Okay. For your memory, turn on Expo in your BIOS. For the CPU, make sure you install chipset drivers. I run PBO, which I think right now I have it at, like, insanely safe offset of like -10. I don't know why I set it so slow, or not slow, but so safe. I could probably make that even lower and get some increased power efficiency, but I just haven't bothered. I tried to keep it similar to how I had it. I thought of doing it after I made the benchmarks for this wipe, so I was like, well, shit, I'm just going to leave it for a little bit longer. Yeah, it looks a lot better with HBAO on. How much of a difference does it make with performance when it's on versus off? It depends on how intense you set it. The higher you go with HBAO, the more detail it makes in the shadows and the darker it gets to a certain extent. But it also makes them more accurate. So like this here gets a bit darker around the edges. Doesn't look as thin as with max performance, but max performance sort of just gets the, you know, the main bit across. The performance also doesn't tank if your CPU bottlenecked. So it's basically run-to-run variance. So if I set to DLSS performance here, and I'll just take this for instance. I don't know if it's going to shift any from when I go into the main menu, so this might be a little not representative, but you can see right here I'm CPU bottlenecked, CPU/memory bottlenecked, because my GPU usage isn't at 100%, so the CPU is not feeding enough frames to give the GPU work to do 100% of the time. So since I'm CPU bottleneck now, let's see if I'm at like roughly 160 FPS. I'll set HBAO to say like ultra. And performance should basically be identical. So as long as you're not GPU bottlenecked, you can use whichever one's your personal preference. But for example, if you're on like factory or labs where you might be GPU bottlenecked, that would give you a decent performance impact. That's also why, for example, with screen space reflections or SSR, I have that on ultra. I totally do not recommend you to run that on ultra, because if you do, it's way too insensitive to actually be worth it for most of you unless you're really GPU bound or really CPU bound. So the only reason I went to SSR and ultra is because the reflections are kind of gross when they're not like at least at like medium or above. And I just decided, I was like, oh, I got a new GPU, screw it, I'm just gonna send it, and that's what I did. So let's see. What have I missed here? Oh, and also, if you haven't already, make sure you do like the stream just so it pushes out to more people. On YouTube, I should say. Will you post your results in Discord? For my offline tests? I don't know. I can. I'm not gonna have many online tests. Mainly because of what I was saying at the beginning of the video. With the amount of variability, in testing online. Also, I gotta turn off DLSS again. But with the amount of variability in online, it's just simply too much. If I was to post my results, the thing is I want to get a ton of information then, because then I can have like 100% definitive stuff that people can use and like reference. Like, I don't want people referencing me doing like 2 or 3 raids or offline raids on each map and then like just using those numbers. Like, I'd like to get even more data. So I can. I was debating making it for members, but I don't like paywalling stuff. So I don't know. I could post them if people are interested. Because sometimes I get raids where I'm like, or benchmark results where I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I know this is lower than the rest of them because of the weather that I had in the middle of the benchmark. And I can't really provide that context unless I like put notes inside of shit. So yeah, maybe I should. Would be good. Time to clickbait. Yeah, these settings get me 350 more FPS on Streets of Tarkov. Holy shit. But I have to, before I start the video, I have to like, alright guys, but before we get started in the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. I gotta plug my shit. Make sure you watch me on Twitch. I hate plugging in videos. I know, I've said this for years, but I fucking hate plugging in videos. I do it, but I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's so, like, I feel so stupid at the beginning of the video being like, hey guys, like, before we get started, I just want to tell you, like, please join my Discord, pretty please. I say my Discord just so that it's not like, I'm not constantly saying, like, make sure that you hit that like button down below, because it's fucking cringy as shit. Should just make a Discord channel. Free storage. That's, oh. He could actually be cooking there. I'm so happy I discovered PBO. 5700X doubled the PBO, negative 30 on all core, and plus 100 on the clocks, and runs like a beast now. Nice. That's actually, that's pretty good. When I always ask people for help, I can provide my data. Yeah, that's... See, that's true, but... It's not like I don't trust y'all. But I don't fucking trust you. No, I'm kidding. But, like, I'd have to be able to verify it myself. You know? Like, I don't want to put stuff out there where I don't have control over it, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm like, I should, like, I'm like a worrywart. And, like, if I find out that it's wrong, like, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep at night, you know? I have a 1200K and a 3070 Ti using your settings from last wipe. I have maybe lost 20 to 30 or 25 to 30 FPS on average on all maps. What is wrong with the game after the patch? Well, from what I said earlier on the stream, I think they did something with object LOD quality because it has a way bigger impact on performance than I originally thought. Speaking of, hold on. Wait, hold that thought. Fucking BTR. I'm gonna kill that thing. The second I get an RPG, I'm blowing that thing up with my mind. Okay. Yeah, nothing. Okay, okay. Alright, good. Sorry, I was just making sure. Forgot to check that. If that thing runs me over, I'm watching you. Where is it? Anyway. Spoken like a wise 41-year-old. Okay, guys, I'm not 41. I'm not 41, chat. Have you tried benchmarking and optimizing Tarkov in 4K? No. Because what's more important is when you're CPU or GPU bound or bottlenecked. Those are interchangeable terms, basically. If I benchmarked in 4K, I would just have GPU bound results. So I would just be showing you GPU bound performance. That's why I say GPU and CPU bottlenecked, to try to make it more universal than just saying like, here's the results for 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. Because if it's CPU bound, it's CPU bottlenecked. The resolution isn't really going to affect that. You're still CPU bottlenecked. And if you're, especially if you're benchmarking online and you benchmark 1080p, 1440p, and 4K, you're just going to see variations in performance to a point to where, oh, like all of a sudden I'm GPU bottlenecked and now I'm not even testing the CPU anymore. Like you can think of the CPU like setting a top speed for the graphics card. You get to a point where you're just below the top speed now. You're not like, it's not doing anything. But I think anyway, Spetsnaz, to answer your question, object LOD quality, I think something happened there. Garbage collection is a big issue. It looks like something is not being cleared correctly, because just like RAM usage just keeps going up and up and up. I don't know what's going on there. People can't load into RAID because of memory issues, because of paging file issues. But you sound like what? Bro, come on. Kabooms, you're literally like one of the OGs at this point. Come on, you can't just pile on like that, bro. You can't. You can't. But anyway, I think it's those two things, and there's one other thing. Fuck. It feels like AI have a more intense impact on performance than last wipe. Again, it's hard for me to just verify those claims, because trying to get any sort of average performance on an online run sucks hard, because it's so difficult to get the same thing over and over again. I shouldn't even say difficult, it's near impossible. So is AMD overlay enough? For what? Sorry. Any idea why I'm getting 60, 70 FPS on customs with a 7000X3D and a 4070 and 64 gigs of RAM? The speed of that RAM might be a concern, but also customs just runs worse after the patch. The expansion has significantly decreased performance. And if you're running high textures, please run medium textures. That seems to be a reoccurring issue. I have not had any crashes loading into RAID yet, and I've purposely kept high textures to try and see if I can induce that and try to increase my RAM utilization, but I haven't crashed yet. You aren't old, you are what? I'm not old. Like, I said I'm 21. As a 37-year-old bald man, I can feel when we're in the presence of another 40-year-old. I'm not 40 years old, guys. I don't know I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I have a 3080 EVGA card, God bless. 1200K. And 64 gigs of 3600 DR4. I do play 1080, but I seriously don't feel like should be getting as bad performance as I do. You're just really CPU bottlenecked by that 1200K. 100%. So it's the game probably not going to get... is the game probably not getting any better performance-wise? Odds are it will. Odds are it will. Because now we're on Unity 2022, they have some of the tools to improve performance. That's at least what they said. So I'm sure over time there's going to be some optimizations. I don't know how often I'll check and see, but at least I have some base benchmarks I can kind of guide and like look at. Uh-oh. I gotta get out of this raid. But at least I can look and see what actually, like, if anything changes over the course of the wipe. It's going to be near impossible for me to see the impact of AI. Like, I don't know how to benchmark them. I don't know what the correct route to actually benchmarking that would be. I don't know. I would honestly love if BSG just like reached out to me or like said something and can be like, okay, here's how you can see if we're improving the performance or not. I would love that. Or just like any any guidance for them to just say, hey, here's how you should go about it. Like anything, because it's impossible. Like I can just give you a ballpark and say, oh yeah, this feels better, but it's not numbers. The numbers are impossible to get because everything's constantly changing. Everything's constantly different all the time. Unity 20 to 22 FPS. Yeah, I know. Is there anything you could show me? Is there anything you could show to help me push it a bit? I used to get 140 in all maps except woods and streets. What was the specs again? Oh, hold on, wait. Ding dong. Okay, sorry. BSG just gave me a letter. They just delivered it through the postal service here. Okay. Oh, okay. It says fuck you. Okay, cool. Okay. Clem, you notice any frame time issues near those little huts they placed? Yes. 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 It was on interchange and on shoreline. When I was near those huts, FPS, because the two places that I chose to benchmark, or sorry, out of the 4 places I chose to benchmark, 2 of them were close to those huts for the wipe, and those 2 places were both significantly worse performance than last wipe when I was near those huts. So I think those might reduce performance by a little bit, whatever they have over there.
EFT is not a fun game.
He's not a fun game. Thank you so much for the sub, Jamaska on YouTube, appreciate it. And Zen, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Hey Clem, do you have the links to Project Lasso and MSI Afterburner on Discord? I do not, but I could. Project Lasso is just on, or Process Lasso. I keep saying project now because everybody says project. It's Process Lasso. It's just bitsum.com. And MSI Afterburner, I believe, is just on MSI's website. But I can get the links if you really need. Hey, what's up with the FPS drops and looking in specific directions on customs? It's from the new expansions that they've added. Those parts, when you're looking directly at them, just even if it's through stuff on the map, just significantly reduce performance. I checked my paging file. It says 2048. Is that normal? That's... You see here, hold on. That is normal. Because mine's system managed. And you can see here that mine right now is at 16 gigs, but it dynamically adjusts. So it could totally be moving if you have it set to system managed. I've seen this like at 4 before. So no biggie. Calling it right now when Christmas stuff goes away, everything will be normal. Might be. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. I would not be shocked. This is lower durability. This is shit. I had a bunch of stuff in rigs that I gotta sort out and sell. What I miss here? So what's the progress on the FPS boost? Which one? Like on the settings guide? We're getting there. I actually, let me see if I can load into factory here. Hey. Oh.
Ryzen 9 5900X AMD 7900XT 32GB RAM. Any settings from the WIS to help run better. I know I'm bottlenecked by CPU.
Thank you for the 5. Firstly, I appreciate that. Secondarily, process lasso. I'd look into that, put the game on either the first 6 cores, the second 6 cores, put any other background apps that you have like Discord, Chrome on the other 6 cores. Sort them out to be on different cores. That's the first thing. Second thing, make sure your RAM is running at the speeds that you bought it, so make sure Expo is working properly. Deboot your Windows install. It's also important. You have a 7900 XT. Everything else should be okay. High texture should probably be okay for you at 20 gigabytes of VRAM. And also object LOD quality, what I'm seeing right now is it can have a really big impact on performance. And I'll try to explain it better in the video. But long story short, it heavily depends on where you are on the map. So because of that, you might want to try to set object LOD quality to the lowest you're comfortable with. I don't know about the invisible player bug that was associated with this. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know what's best for that. I haven't tested that. But I'll probably make a separate follow-up piece later, maybe after I do the memory stuff. About that. Yeah, the shooting frame time bug. Angel, are you on a AMD GPU? Hey, what's up, Noir? What's up? Hello, Unc Clem. Nah, it's literally everybody. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a fucking emote for that at this point. It's bad. It's bad. Sorry if you answered this, but why run medium textures if you're CPU bound and not crashing? VRAM. If your VRAM is maxing out, you're gonna feel the stutters from the VRAM. What's the word? Not dipping. What is it called? Overflowing. There we go. From the VRAM overflowing into your system memory. And that's going to make your frame time graph look like the Rocky Mountains. Yes, from your VRAM allocation overflowing. So if you're getting to the point where your VRAM is maxed out, it may start to allocate system memory for that in case because it thinks it might need that extra memory for textures and other data that needs to be loaded into the GPU. So just for streets, right now I've been running high textures with medium, with Streets of Tarkov lower texture res mode for streets. But on customs, I was getting my shit rocked with high quality textures. I'm actually gonna go back there again now that I've restarted my game basically. Actually, let me do it on, no, let me restart again. And see how it's going. And see if I'm still stuttering with high textures. Let's see. Yeah, seriously, Wild. With every rework, it's getting more necessary to choose your texture quality per map. Genuinely. Because then people could have like high quality textures for factory and labs, and then medium for customs and shoreline and reserve, and then low for streets or something like that, you know? Unironically would be a huge change. Unironically. Would be stupid. It would look very stupid and confusing to people who don't play Tarkov, but it would be kind of cool. Would be kind of cool. Ooh, chair squeak. Okay. I have 16 gigs. I don't like the idea of low texture mode. Doesn't that double the texture stored? No. Streets of Tarkov lower texture res, as far as I could tell, all it's doing is it's setting the texture resolution one notch down from the previous setting. So for example, when I'm running high texture quality for all of their maps, that's what it is for all of their maps. And on streets, when I load into streets, I'm running medium textures. That's it. It's literally it. No, that sounds a little crazy, but that's literally what it's doing.
I'm a goner.
I'm a goner. Hey, thank you, system admin. Shout out to the sysadmins. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Anyone still have PvP server issues? I'm going to scab in again and see. How do you get the MSI overlay on the top left? This is using CapFrame X. Oh, that's not CapFrame. This is CapFrame. I'm using this and I made the overlay in here. So it gives me a bit more flexibility than MSI Afterburner does. Which allowed me to like condense all this information in on here. But you can do this kind of similarly with MSI Afterburner as well. But yeah, you may need to rework the bot. Yeah, we might be getting to that point already. God, I need a what's it called? Bad scab junk box. I need to grind to that. Because I have so much stuff that I'm keeping because I'm like, I don't know if I need this. I need some time to like check all that. I haven't been playing much. I've been trying to benchmark first and foremost and then figure out the other stuff later. I have 96 gigs of RAM, but I made a paging file of 50 gigs on my hard drive today. No, hybrid. Stop, hold on. Don't, and this is back from when BSG made this guidance in the past. If you're making a paging file, you want to make sure that your paging file is on an SSD. Don't put it on a hard drive. Even if you're rarely using it, don't put it on a hard drive, whatever you do. Because that's going to fuck up your FPS and give you random little micro stutters and be like, what the fuck is happening? Don't put it on an HDD. Put it on an SSD. Ideally, BSG said that you should have your paging file on an SSD that is not the same SSD that Tarkov's installed on. So luckily for me, because I have two PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSDs in my system, I have my boot drive that Tarkov's installed on, and then I have a secondary drive that the paging file is on. And that's how I've had my system set up for a while. Yeah, don't have it. Even if you have to have it on the same drive that Tarkov's installed on, make sure it's an SSD. Do not put it on a hard drive, because that's gonna give you random stutters that are gonna make your life a living hell. Ooh, I got supplier. Exit the location shoreline, impossible. What are you giving me for that? That's the shittiest rewards I've ever seen in my life. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. The fuck is that shit, mechanic? Lock in, brother. You have a 4090 and a 7950X. Thinking about going to the 9800X 3D. Worth it? It's the same, yeah, same socket, so you should just be able to CPU swap. It's a decent uplift from a 7950X. If you don't need the productivity benefit that the 7950X gives you, sysadmin, I go for it, brother. But make sure you get it for the right price, because you don't want to pay like $800 for that CPU. I don't know what the market's looking like right now. I don't know if they have it in stock again yet, but just be careful. Don't buy it over like $500. The MSRP was, what was the MSRP on it? Was it $450 for the 9800X 3D? Somebody will know in chat. Is 16 gigabytes enough download RAM for a 32 gig system? What do you mean, like paging file size? I have the video from what BSG recommended a while back. If you go look at my paging file video, the numbers were there. I think they recommended 25 gigs back then, but I don't know if it's going to solve the loading problem. It may need more for this loading problem. 479. Yeah, okay. So I was right. I was pretty close in the ballpark. But yeah, just wait till it hits that rough price again, and then I would go for it. It'll probably get there once the 9950X 3D comes out. All the like people are gonna be like, oh my god, that's a bigger number. I'm grabbing that shit, and they're gonna go for the 9950X 3D, and then maybe some more 9800X 3Ds can kind of sneak into stock, you know. And then you might be able to snatch it up then. So wait till like look around mid-January to early February. You should be able to find something. I put my paging file on a floppy disk. That's huge. Could it be that we mess up the GPU shader cache with constant changes? Or does that have nothing to do with it? That gets overwritten as needed. Also, every time you update your GPU drivers, that gets wiped anyway. So that's no and I blanked on what I was gonna say. Oh, that's no big deal. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. So we're back. Let's see if we keep stuttering now with a restart. Hey, so that's not the right statistics. I'm not using that amount of VRAM. Did my cat frame crash? Hold on. Let me restart. Yeah, cat frame. Oop. Whoa! That's a PMC! Oh, we're fucked. Come on, I was just about to benchmark things, are you kidding? Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, no. I gotta stop the music. I have to fight for my benchmarking freedom. What the fuck? My iron sight. I can't hear where this guy went. There's no ambient noise. It's pure quiet. As far as I can tell, VoIP doesn't work. Like, I can't hear other people talk to me. And people never talk to me back. Does VoIP work? I don't know. No. Nobody in my community has bought a new Intel GPU yet because they've been out of stock. Oh. Yeah, I heard VoIP was... Yeah, me too. I heard it was broken. Worked for you today? Huh. Oh, fuck, I don't know where this guy went. Fuck it. I don't got anything crazy, so... Maybe, but I was on a scav. I had to, like, gesture to this guy. See, this is also the problem with benchmarking online when I go into a scav. Like, there's just times where I'll go into a scav, try to benchmark, and I just get my shit rocked. I'm like, oh, well, okay, I can just... I mean, if you want me to wait another 30 minutes to find another scav, that's cool. Oh, it's all good, man. Hey, you can see through this glass now. I also saw if you shoot that firework and drop, will come in and you'll be followed by a ton of AI scavs. Oh, that's new. Hey, no problem, Stony. That's what I like to do. On a 5700X and 3060 Ti, hoping to squeeze out some more frames. So that CPU is what's holding you back, but we'll see. Hey, what's up, Major Shy? Have you covered FSR3 in a video, live stream, or anytime recently? The upscaler, not particularly, like not in detail, no. There hasn't been any like frame gen or anything like that, so I have not. But it's a temporal upscaling. Do you have a question about it or something? Whoa! Yes! This is gonna work well. I never have any problems doing this ever. No problems ever doing this. This always works perfectly for me. There's not one time where... Okay. Should have known better. I'm not getting the frame time stutters yet, but I think we're getting close. We're already at 15 gigs of VRAM. Something's not right on customs, dude. There's no fucking way that we're using 15 gigs of... We're not, though. Because I know we're not. We're using like 6 gigs. Yeah, VRAM usage is at 5.2. But we're allocating all 16, which is fine. But if that allocation... It starts allocating system memory, that might be what's causing the stutter. Hey there, hate to be a bother. You're not a bother, bro. I'm literally here answering your questions, like yes. Ask away. Is the stutter when throwing / dropping / killing? Please tell me if there's an easy fix. I'm new to SPT. Oh, you're on SPT? But are you on an AMD GPU? Recommendations for 4K Tarkov. I have a new monitor arriving tomorrow. You're probably just going to be GPU bottlenecks. So lower HBAO, SSR, disable if you need to. I don't know what GPU you have, but 4080. AMD GPU got something special? No, I'm thinking maybe he's getting stuttering while shooting. I think there's a bug with some AMD GPUs, depending on what driver you have, where you get stuttering while shooting.
Подмагните!
You might just be more GPU bound on most maps now with the 4080 Super. I think Wild actually has that same GPU. You can ask him. I don't think he runs 1440p though, not 4K. This is not going to go well.
Подмагните!
Oh. Oh. Friends. Oh, great. Okay. Hello. I'm just gonna try to stay alive. Run 4K with DLSS. Oh, that's right. Okay. And no complaints? That's true. I've seen a lot of that where you get stutters from people upgrading their GPU and not DDUing. Yeah. It's a surprisingly common issue. you can go in here. What's in here? I can't jump through the window. That totally looks like I could get in there. I can, that's why. Okay. Oh, it's so quiet. Zombar? So far, I've heard tell that the temporary fix to solving that issue where you can't load into RAID is just increasing your paging file size. You can go to my paging file guide video that I made a while back. It's got some official recommendations from BSG a while ago when there was an issue similar to this, but not exactly the same. You may need to up it past what I recommended in that video, but I highly recommend checking that out. It's not that long. Oh, measuring tape is huge in a hose. I feel like I heard something. Does shadow quality affect VRAM much? I actually haven't tested in a while, so I don't want to speak on that, but not crazily. Not as much as texture quality, that's for damn sure. But I have not tested it yet. I have to do that off stream. Any of the like official stuff where if I'm like I'm actually getting like concrete numbers, I don't want to do it on stream because I don't want to have the Elgato connected directly for duplicating the screens. I don't want to have voice meter open either, so. What did I miss? Really appreciate your answer. You earned my sub. Love the stream. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for subbing, man. We're really close to 10K, so. Yeah, I will do. I'll keep it up. And expect, I'm trying to get the settings guide ready for before the 29th. I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to work on it a lot tomorrow. That's gonna be grind season. And if I can get it done tomorrow, that'd be great. I've been working obviously a lot today on it too, but this has just been like me testing things, seeing what I'm gonna say basically. And then tomorrow I'll be finalizing some stuff up, recording my settings guide, because most of my recommendations are the same. There's just a couple new things to consider, especially with memory. So yeah, I'll be working on that. Expect that coming hopefully by the 29th, like I said. I'm hoping to drop the video and then stream for drops on the 29th. That would be ideal, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. We'll see. I'm going to try my best to... It's going to reuse some screenshots from previous... from my previous video. I'll try not to reuse a ton, though. It's just there's still some screenshots that are still perfectly, like, valid. Like Anisotropic Filtering, I can showcase with anything, so... And I'll try to use iCat to showcase it, because people really liked me using iCat to showcase it, so... I'll do that. Do my usual explaining. The good thing is, typically for my videos, I don't really need to write a script. I don't even remember the last time that I wrote, like, a full script for a video. I just sort of speak off the mind, and it sort of just flows, which is nice. So that I at least don't need to spend time on that. But yeah, try my best to have it. From what I'm gathering, it's don't use high textures and lower LOD. Basically, oh, Oh, you're chilling. Basically, yeah.
I'm done.
Basically, yeah. Thank you, King Desert, for the follow. I appreciate it on Twitch. Much love, man. Thank you. We have the same specs. How are you getting 150 FPS in the new area? I do have tuned memory. I have a deep loaded operating system. I have nothing else really running in the background, so... Keep in mind, fictitious, too, that is the VRAM allocation. I would love to talk to BSG about some of this, like, genuinely. Because I'm not a fucking guru, okay? I mean, to be honest with y'all, chat, like, I'm an information technology major. I have learned everything I do on here by myself. Like, I'm not like a trained game designer or anything, okay? So everything's just done from me experimenting and just finding out shit and researching stuff and just trying to see what works. So I'd love to talk to them and be like, hey, when you're setting to high texture quality, is something like, is it over allocating VRAM? Like, cause there's something, something fishy. That in-game overlay VRAM usage has to be wrong, no? I think my VRAM on the top left is showing the allocation, and not the actual amount of usage. Oh.
Да они вообще все молодцы, пидоры!
Okay. I thought he was hurt or something. Okay, he's not hurt. He's just really heavy. Okay. Cool. And I've done like deep dives on allocation versus VRAM, or VRAM allocation versus VRAM usage in the past, so give Scav cheese, kill. Yeah, he walked up to pick up the cheese. I shot him in the head with 7.62 Sorry, Pookie Bear. God, I gotta... Oh, no, that's good. Okay. Please ignore my stash, guys. Like, I've been running scav raids, and I have not been playing much. Please disregard. I'm gonna fix it. It's not been top priority. We're gonna get there. Okay, what'd I miss? Hey, Bad Crow, what's up? What's the silent FPS killer? Object LOD quality has gotten a lot more important, it seems. That and VRAM and RAM allocation seems to be a concern again. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Bad Crow. I know about that. In my settings guide, also to be clear, let me mention this on stream too. I mean, obviously you guys aren't everybody who's going to watch the video, but I said this in a community post as well, that I'm not gonna be discussing like paging file tweaks or anything in that video. The settings guide video, I'm gonna stay contained into the settings of the game, what to change. I'll keep some context in there for people to have an idea, right? And obviously I'll explain it as I usually do, but I'm not gonna be like explaining like paging file tweaks or like Windows optimizations or anything like that. I'm going to keep it to explaining what the in-game settings do, mainly because I know that I can talk a lot. Brian, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. I know I can talk a lot, and I know if I include all that stuff in there, it's going to be like an hour-long video. And if you catch me uploading a video that's more than an hour long, it's not me on the channel anymore. So just be aware that it won't cover some of those things. I'll make follow-up content because I want to do some other testing and see if there's some actual like memory leak, as people normally call it, and stuff like that. I'm going to spend some time to test that, but that's going to be in a separate piece so I can yap more and not have it be an hour and a half. Okay, just FYI, just so everybody's clear. What else did I miss? I also need to get an exclamation mark settings command, but it's in the description of the YouTube stream physics. What is AMD FSR 2.2 and 3.0? They are equivalent upscalers from DLSS. Or not from DLSS. They're from AMD. They're equivalent to DLSS in the fact that they're both upscaling solutions. And their quality settings are equivalent base resolutions. They use different ways of upscaling. DLSS is exclusive to the RTX cards on Nvidia, whereas FSR can be used on a bunch of different hardware. But FSR also does not use any AI, or not like any hardware that's geared towards AI like tensor cores. So when can we expect the settings guide video? I'm aiming to have it up sometime on the 29th. I'm going to spend basically all day tomorrow just recording, editing, rendering, making the thumbnail, and then posting it, hopefully. I didn't want to, again, like I didn't want to rush it too fast because I wanted to see if anybody caught anything off the bat that I needed to like talk about in the video as I was doing my testing. So I just did my usual benchmarks and checked some of the settings. I got to get some more screenshots, I think, just to finalize some things. And then I'll make the video and talk again. My usual yapping session. And then, yeah. So that's where that's going to be. I'll make the settings guide. And then, like I said, there's going to be separate videos like I did before talking about memory leaks, memory floods, maybe the paging file tweaks again if they ever put out a statement again about that. Yeah. If you are having the 99% error, please submit a bug report to BSG through the launcher. You might get a response that contains some paging file information, and if you do, please send it to me. That's how I figured out that stuff the first time, is because somebody sent me some of the support messages they got, and then I looked into it. So yeah, please put in bug reports. I'm going to do get some final screenshots, stuff like that. I was debating recording today, but after streaming for a couple hours and finding out that stuff, maybe I'll just record tomorrow morning, let my voice rest a little bit, and then come back swinging tomorrow morning, record. But no, I don't recommend Intelligent Standby List Cleaner anymore. Not really. You shouldn't need it. Automatic RAM Cleaner in game should do everything you need it to do. It's not going to do the same thing ISLC does, but it should relieve the same problem, if that makes any sense. I can see the title already. Customs is killing your FPS. Don't play it. Don't play it. Is it worth upgrading? Oh yeah, you said this earlier, Panda. Sorry. It depends on the price. The speed doesn't really matter. It's having the 32 gigs that's gonna help probably. But at the end of the day, if you can only handle up to 2666, I don't know what generation processor you're on, but that's probably a pretty weak board, and I don't know if I'd invest much more money, or pretty weak setup, at least with the CPU motherboard wise. So I would probably just recommend saving and going for an upgrade at some point. I'm playing with the same laptop as the guy. It's the guy you helped a few months ago. I'd have to remember back. I'm struggling with temps. I can't get more than 30 frames. I power limited that. If you're talking about the PC Sherpa episode, I power limited his hardware to try to help with temps, and that actually increased performance because he wasn't having crazy thermal throttling. It made it more stable. Oh, this is a mess, chat. I'm going to try my best to explain what I can in the settings guide. But I know there's going to be a lot of people complaining. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying that I should have mentioned this or that in the video, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to keep it to the settings and discuss. It's going to be pretty close to what I had last, what's it called? Last wipe. Let me just quickly check one more thing before I leave. Let me load into... Okay. I'm just gonna do one more thing, actually. I was about to do an outro. There we go. But let me do one more thing. Now I'm thinking about it. One more thing. Clem, based on your knowledge, do you think if BSG really wants, they could really optimize this game? They do want to. They wouldn't have upgraded to Unity 2022 if they didn't want to at least try to help performance a little bit. They wouldn't have even bothered. There's probably some gameplay features that are locked behind them getting to this better version, but I mean, they want to improve. They want to improve the game. They totally do. They have it on the books that they want to. But it's optimized it's thrown around a lot. Really, it's just how much can they improve performance from where they are right now? Realistically speaking, that's really the important thing. Did you guys figure out anything yet? To fill you in, basically, object LOD quality seems to have a higher effect on performance than I originally thought. That I remember and that I've seen in the past. So that's new. And what else? And texture quality and RAM/VRAM limitations are a bitch, and it feels like it's a lot worse. Nikita has mentioned many times that the major optimization is going to happen at the very end, after they release Tarkov 1.0. Because currently, whenever they put something new into the game, something breaks. Yeah, basically no point. Well, that's kind of how it is in development as a whole. You don't optimize unless you're done with a certain feature. You don't... If you're adding a bunch of new shit and it breaks what you've optimized already, why would you... what are you doing? You're just wasting developer time. You should do it at the very end. I'm looking at the shadows, by the way. Do you run any post effect settings? Yes. These are my post effects right now. Feel free to pause if you need. I might lower the brightness a little bit just because of the snow, but yeah, this is what I'm running right now. Now, I'm not saying this game all of a sudden is going to be super playable on a quad-core 7th gen Intel i7 7700. It's not going to be... don't think of a miracle, but I have an RTX 3080 and a Ryzen 7 5800X 30, 30 gigs of RAM, being super huge stutters and low FPS, 30 FPS on customs. Do you have any idea why? If you're running high textures, don't. Run lower quality textures. And reduce your object LOD quality. But Reddit says it's easy. Oh, just press the... Wait, I got it. Hold on. They didn't even add the command. Jesus. Do you even know what they're doing? My God. What's going on here? God, the snow is going to make getting these comparison shots a bitch. Anyway. Oh, and that's what I get for not having my jump on press. Oh, that's right. I forgot I get frame limited. That's right. Fuck. Well, that's gonna be kind of hard. I can't really see if that does anything. Okay. Well, that's all right. I'd have to test that on a different map, I guess. Okay. Would FSR 2.2 or 3.0 be worth using with my setups? What was the setup again? I'm trying to remember, sorry. I Do a Bethesda and have every interior be a different level. People forget how wildly detail dense this game is. Yeah. There's a lot of random shit all over the place. Like, there's clutter all over. So, yeah. They tend to forget. They're like, I've had people come into my chat and be like, dude, Apex Legends runs great. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I don't even know how to start discussing this. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, where do I start? Oh yeah, that's right. 7900 XT and 5900X. No, you're probably CPU bottlenecked in most situations. You probably don't need it. Memory integrity is off, right? For yeah. That might be forced at some point in the future, though, so that may change. Changing page file from game drive to another drive got me 10 FPS in customs new area. Is that repeatable? You test if MIP streaming works this wipe? One of my mods did. Somebody in the community, Rio, I mean, I saw briefly that he was testing and textures still looked like shit. So if anyone is feeling any urge for optimization Tarkov, feel free to remember the Star Citizen exists. Yeah, people tend to forget. Star Citizen, oh my god. Brings my system to its knees. Yeah, it's a virus protection feature, Panda. I think it has like virtualization. What is, I had a definition in a video I made a long time ago, and now I can't remember. Sometimes when you don't update yourself on these things, like you start to lose the definitions. I gotta look it up again. I think I maybe made a video covering it with some other things. Does the CPU affinity setting still apply to 0.16? Yeah. Yeah. It still does. It's the same concept. It applies to most games. Is if you have like external application or like extra applications. Well, what's your CPU again, Stoney? Because if it's I really, for the most part, I only recommend Process Lasso for people who have a lot of physical cores. Like if you have like a 6-core CPU or less, then it's probably not worth it. Unless your system's like heavily bloated and we need to do, then we got other problems at that point. Speaking of CPU, any wisdom about Intel P cores and E cores? From what I saw on my last system, which had a 3600K, isolating the game to just P cores actually slightly worsened the performance on average. But I know some 14th gen people, or 13th and 14th gen people, like to sometimes turn off E cores completely and then just push the P cores to higher clocks in an effort to improve performance. That's something you can do, but that's, you know, that's gonna be your choice. Either way, nothing crazy. You can sort like background apps to be on the E cores, and that might help you marginally, but besides that, like I used to sometimes sort OBS when I was on a single PC setup to be on my E cores, just so that it wasn't interfering with my game performance. R7 5700X. If you don't have much shit running in the background, then you probably don't need Process Lasso on that. So it's not a dual CCD CPU, so you don't have to worry about any crosstalk. Actually, yes, CCD crosstalk. Yeah, that works. So you're fine probably, unless you like have like Corsair IQ or like Steel Series GG or Razer Synapse or anything that you want to sort onto the first thread and take Tarkov off the first thread. I have a 7000X 3D and 4080 Super and play at 4K right now. Being like half the FPS I used to get with your settings, I guess I need to move down to medium textures and lower LOD. On customs, basically when I didn't have a fresh restart before going into customs, there was some stuttering issues with high textures, so you might need to move to lower. But at the end of the day, if you're playing customs in particular, the FPS is just going to be lower no matter what. Clem, is an i5-11400 too bad for this game? I mean, it would function. Some of the bigger maps like Streets are going to suffer. Customs is going to be a nightmare now. So it's not going to be ideal. Followed your settings and memory integrity off and getting 130 max on customs on a scav. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. We both have the same specs. Well, keep in mind too that like it's not directly comparable. Oh, excuse me. On raid to raid. For that raid that I was in, there could have been way less active players. There could have possibly not been a boss on that raid, and you have Rashala on your raid. Like, there's a lot of factors. The weather, just a bunch of things that could be contributing to that. Like, my FPS was swinging from 130 to 180. It was going all over the place. It depends on literally where you're looking. That's why benchmarking online, if you're not following the exact same path, is basically impossible. And if you're following the exact same path, you're dead. You're probably dying. If you're benchmarking and you run like a scab and you're like, and you go down like the main street, you go down Primorsky Avenue, you benchmark once, cool, you got a benchmark. You go down it the next time, you get shot in the head by a sniper in fucking Pinewood. And you're like, oh, okay, great. And then you have to wait another 30 minutes, and you run down it again. You're close to the end of the benchmark, and then, oh my god, what the hell? There's a fucking, like, somebody put a tripwire in the middle of my path or some shit, and you die at the very end, which invalidates your run. You gotta do it again. And there could be a fucking boss on your 4th run that you don't directly fight, but it could be reducing performance. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much shit that it's so hard to recreate at least somewhat consistent FPS numbers. Unless you have control of, like, most of the things about the server, and you don't. The thing you can't control is the AI. You can't control the AI. Even in offline, you can't control the AI. So, you can't have a repeatable workload. It's virtually impossible with AI. You're just CPU bottleneck there, Stoney. Have you looked into DLSS 3.7 for Tarkov? I have not. I have not looked into replacing the DLL. Mainly because I don't know if BSG wants me to do that. I know they haven't fucked over anybody who has done it already. But I'm a little scaredy cat. And I don't want them all of a sudden changing their mind. Because it wouldn't be the first time. So, if they could just do it and update it, that would be great. So that I don't do it. Thanks. On i7 9700K, I dipped below 60 FPS on customs after the update. Oh yeah, that's gonna struggle. Tarkov's actually quite aggressive with occlusion. I've had geometry go invisible while looking through. Yeah, yep, I've had that too. I have a screenshot from like several wipes ago where I looked at a window on Streets and like it was gone. Like Streets was just gone. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. And also with LOD, like things will just pop in front of you sometimes. It's like, oh, okay, what the fuck? Streets is allocating 16 gigs on Streets for medium. Did you restart your game before doing that run? See, there's another thing. There's another thing. Literally, oh, guys. Is there a snake? That's another thing that I did. Because I thought that this might be a thing, I didn't restart my game in between benchmark runs before this wipe. So I ran them all in the same order without restarting my game. And because I knew this was going to be a whole thing, lo and behold, part of the stuttering issue is when I didn't restart my game, when going into customs with high texture quality after running several raids, it started stuttering like a bitch. God, so much shit. So much fucking shit. There's so many little caveats where I have to be like, oh, actually, technically you can run high textures, but You may need to restart more frequently, depending on your VRAM and RAM. And I just don't know. I just don't know if people are going to listen to me. And that's part of the thing too. It's like when people ask me for a recommendation, it's like I just got to give them a ballpark that's better safe than sorry, you know? Suggestions on adjusting process priority: don't go to real time. Don't worry about process priority generally. You won't be able to benchmark a difference. You can just leave it as is. What's more important is the affinity and what cores Tarkov is running on. How can I up my GPU usage? Your CPU bottlenecked. Yeah, you're getting lower FPS because you're getting CPU bottlenecked harder, and so your GPU usage is going to drop more because there's less work for it to do. Ryzen 5 7600X. Yeah, you're still CPU bottlenecked. Tarkov sucks. Yeah, you know, honestly, I understand that frustration. Frankly, I understand that. I'm not gonna fault you on that. Be honest. Oh man. If you haven't already, by the way, make sure. Oh, I don't have it pinned in my Twitch. If you haven't already, make sure you do follow my Twitch, because I have significantly less followers on Twitch than I do members of my Discord server, which is pinned in both the chats. You should definitely join that, by the way. You can choose to not get pings. There's a help form in there for you to get help with your Tarkov issues. There's a settings bot, which gives you automatic settings recommendations. There's awesome people. I ping in there when I'm going live. And when I post a new video, so when I post the settings guide in, what's it called? In a couple days, you'll be able to get notified when that drops.
I'm done.
Thank you, Jay and Stony, by the way, for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's gonna be coming. The video's gonna be coming the next couple days. I think I might hit 10,000 before I even post the video, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, 5090 32 gigs. Here we come. Tax write-off city, dude. If it's getting to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit in my room, could you imagine what it's gonna get like if I have a 5090? Also, I blew a breaker already earlier. Like, if I have a 5090, my fucking fuses are gonna explode in my basement. I'm gonna have a transformer explode outside my house. I'm gonna need a new electricity line ran to my building just for my 5090. Yeah, Vinny, the only way to get really good anti-aliasing is DLDSR and DLSS. That's like the only way to get in. Tax Nvidia for global warming. Real. Yeah, your CPU bottleneck PS5 gaming. You have a bunch of E-cores in the 4900K that aren't going to be doing basically anything when you're gaming, so I mean, it makes sense. Is 32 gigs of DDR5 actually enough for streets? Yeah, it's enough for streets. You just gotta be realistic. Medium texture quality, or maybe even low, depending on how much VRAM you have, and you should be just fine. How can I improve my FPS on streets to 3080 10 gig and an i7 12700KF? I've averaged 65 FPS. Make sure you reduce background apps, reduce LOD quality if you can handle it. Possibly use process lasso to isolate some stuff. What if resizable bar is broken out? Oh my god, like, don't even. Oh my god, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Oh no, dude, I didn't think of that. God. Why can't you just be normal? Oh my god, Tarkov, come on. I'm gonna have to. No, that's a whole nother thing. Don't even get me. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. That's too much. Like, it's just too much. Like, I'm not gonna have enough time in the world to fucking do this shit. What's the silent FPS killer, bro? Long story short, object LOD quality, texture quality, basically, because of VRAM and RAM utilization. Make sure you occasionally run automatic RAM cleaner, I don't know what your specs are, but generally I would suggest that right now, and possibly occasionally restart your game, because it's looking kind of grim right now. How can I raise the CPU usage? You can't. You can't force it to be multi-threaded anymore. We're on DX11, so you're gonna have one thread that's handling the render work for the GPU, and it can only multi-thread so much. So really what you need is good single core performance and a lot of cache on the CPU for Tarkov. So this Tarkov update called Delta Force is smooth AF. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Delta Force was really fun. I really enjoyed playing it. I was playing it a little bit before Wipe. It's really fun. I like the Battlefield game mode though. I don't really like the extraction so far. Wait, can we toggle DirectX versions of Tarkov? No. I mean, I haven't looked into trying to force it, but I really don't think you can. I do not think there's a way for us to force anything like that. That's so core. At least AMD fluid motion frames make the game feel good. I can't handle the frame generation, I'm gonna be honest with you. As long as, I mean, not that you can't use it. If you like it, if you like the frame gen, by all means, definitely use it. But for me, it's a nightmare, dude. It's a nightmare. Vulcan incoming for Tarkov. It works for Star Citizen, right? Yeah, in some games, frame gen is great. Yeah, but it's not Tarkov. Yeah, it's bigger number better. As long as 140 FPS looks better than 70, so it's better. That's how that works. I'm sorry to tell you, Kaboom. It's just the way it is. A bigger number. It's just better. I also really dislike how sometimes HBAO and SSR have zero effect on frames. Sometimes they do. Yeah, it just depends on if your GPU bottlenecked or not, Vinny. If you have close to or you're at 100% GPU usage, HBAO and SSR are going to affect your frame rate. But if you are like significantly below 100% GPU utilization and your CPU bottlenecked, they won't affect your performance at all. Tarkov is such a shit game. Got a new laptop with a 1300H, 32 gigs of RAM, 4800 megatrans. Ouch. And a laptop 4090, only get around 60 FPS in woods. And temps don't go over 55C. Well, the i9 3900H is a weak CPU. For gaming, I mean. It's made... Those high-end chips, especially, I mean, it's got slower memory. It would be great productivity chip, but for gaming, you've got slower memory. It's a laptop chip. I believe it has less cache, which hurts it in gaming, and a lower boost clock, which is also going to hurt it in gaming. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, that 3900H probably performs close to a 13600K on desktop for gaming, or 13700K maybe, depending on the RAM configuration is what's really hamstringing it. Woods, I don't know what happened with Woods, though. I'd have to look some more on Woods, but... The CPU is just really important. You just really need a good CPU. I'm willing to trade my i7 8700K for anything better, yeah. Like, if you gave me the choice between getting a 3060 and a 9800X 3D, or getting a 7600X and a 4080 for Tarkov, I would pick the 3060 and the 9000X 3D for Tarkov. That's how important it is. Which map would you say gives the best FPS when CPU bound? I mean, labs. You're going to get the most FPS. Wait, how much VRAM for medium textures? I would say for most maps, you can get away with medium textures at 8 gigs and up. 10 gigs is more comfortable, especially with what's going on right now with memory. And then I'd say for high textures, you really need 16 gigs and up, honestly. I would argue. Frankly. I don't think 12 gigs cuts it for high textures. You're going to have to change it too often. Have you found any changes with what graphics settings have an effect on performance this wipe? Yes, I'll be talking about them in the video. But basically, you have object LOD quality is causing significantly more impact than I originally saw previously. And then texture quality, VRAM and RAM utilization are coming to bite people in the ass again. So be very careful with how high you set your texture quality. Yeah, that's really the important thing, honestly. Woods is precisely where HBAO and SSR have a stronger effect for me. There's probably more places where it draws reflections on woods with all the, actually no, maybe not necessarily, but for HBAO there's probably a lot. There's a lot of places that it can apply to. So I'm raising funds for my next CPU. You can find me under factory pump station. Bring protection. Oh my god, holy shit. Jesus, bro's serious. My god. Oh. Okay, but any last questions before I pop out of your chat? Any real quick things, or am I good to rest for a moment before I go at it again tomorrow? Don't need these, honestly. I'm running 9800X3D and a 4070 Super. Fantastic build for Tarkov. Great build. There's a reason why this wipe my GPU is VRAM limited. I'm seeing the allocations going through the roof for VRAM. I'd really love to get some clarification on that from BSG, because like it's going bonkers. It's kind of nuts. I'm not sure what changed, frankly. I'm on medium with 8 gigabytes of VRAM and it's been fine. Yeah, you should be fine with 8 gigs on medium. I ran that for a long time. Customs might be a bitch with that though, and Streets will be. That's why you might want to run Streets lower texture res mode. Been enjoying the holidays? Yeah, it's been pretty relaxing. Pretty chill. I got a couple gifts, just been chilling. Yeah, it's been good. Hope you guys all have had a good holiday season too. Is it the Christmas lights that make the game laggy? Partially, some of the Christmas editions might have made the game laggy, yes. Okay, Clem, would you recommend a lower LOD quality and medium textures for me on a 4070 Super? Yes. But that lower LOD quality will help universally. Or at least it should. I would probably recommend that, yeah. Honestly. It's better safe than sorry, frankly. You might be able to get away with high on some maps, but you'd have to change it sometimes. You might just experience stuttering sometimes and it'd just be a bitch, so if you don't want to like deal with that hassle, it might be better to just leave it. It just 2 LOD just looks like doo-doo butt cheeks though, man. Like it's just awful, dude. Like I might take the extra like slight reduction in performance on average that's coming, and even though it's more now, like even still I might still take that just to have slightly better, like, because the pop-in is so annoying. Not to mention the seeing players at a distance thing. I don't know if that's still going on. That's just a lot, man. That's just a lot. Yeah, 2 if you need every frame, but you can see through some objects. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. Remember a long time ago, BSG said game is developed with 2 in mind for LOD? It doesn't look like it. I don't know, it doesn't fucking look like it. I don't know. That's gotta have changed, because there's no fucking way. Are you kidding me? The fuck? Are you sure about that? That's not...
I'm a goner.
That's not what my scans are saying over here. Goldie, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it, man. It's going good, Cobra. There's been... I shouldn't say good, actually. There's been a lot. I gotta get out of here. But, Cobra, if you want, look back in the VOD, or you can ask around the Discord. They'll brief you on what I've been looking at so far. Gonna do a recording tomorrow. And then we'll just go for it. I mean, if there's something that I get wrong, possibly, I'll make sure to put a correction in the pinned comment. And I'll make follow-up videos. I have some things in mind to test already. So, it's so far real scam, yeah. So far. I'm gonna do some final testing tomorrow, I think, and then make the recording and work on it. So, yeah, I'll let you all know. Yeah, thank you for being here. The stream has gone crazy. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you join the Discord if you haven't already. And if you can, follow the Twitch. I really do appreciate that, just because my Twitch is so far behind my Discord. It's crazy. And yeah, I'll be posting the video next couple days. Make sure you're subbed. Other random plug shit, take a look at the links in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, keep an eye on the Discord. And I'll probably post my frustrations on Twitter when I get a chance. So thank you for being here. And I will see you all very soon. Peace.